except Daniel got up and said, no, this is the prophecy and I must see it in my day, that prophecy would have hung over them in perpetuity while their captivity continued. You with me? That would have hung over them. The word given would have hung over them in perpetuity. But its reality would have never been experienced in their days. Let me ask you something. How long did the Lord tell Abraham that the Israelites would be in Egypt? Thank you, sir. 400 years. How long were they there? Between 30 and 40. What are those extra years about? And listen, it would have reached 500, even 1,000, except some fellow, because they were called Moses, got fed up and decided, I'm doing something about it. They started in the flesh, lost some time, but ultimately the posture of their heart was that this captivity needs to end. Do you get it? Yes. And if I recall, and I listened to the tape, so I'm recalling correctly, that I told you the prophecy of Joel about the end times and the outpouring of the Holy Spirit does not mention Peter. So it's not like Peter was reading the book and then he said, wow, the prophecy of Joel mentions me. I better take action. No, Peter decided to take action. When they asked him, what is this that's going on here? Peter said, this is that. Let me tell you what this is that. In other words, laid claim to the fulfillment of the prophecy, postured himself to see that prophecy fulfilled in his day. Listen, the prophecy of Joel does not say they'll just speak in tongues. It speaks of an outpouring of the Holy Spirit upon all flesh, and then what happens? And it shall come to pass afterward that I'll pour out my spirit upon all flesh. And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. And also upon servants and upon handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. Peter was laying claim to these things. What did they see in Acts chapter 2? They just started seeing 3 calls. Hello. Okay, so you go to Acts chapter 2 then. Now that your fingers are doing the walking, help me here, brother. It's going to be nice. Let's be partners. Acts chapter 2, what had happened? Did you see what we read in Joel? Yes. Did you see all the things that Joel prophesied? 12. And they're all amazed and were in doubt. Okay, so why are they amazed? Because this is what happened on the street. What happened? There were a certain bunch of people that were sitting in the upper room waiting on God. Another temptation there. See, the bad waiting and the real waiting. So they were waiting on God. They were not passively sitting in an upper room hoping that something will happen. No, they were in an active posture waiting for the fulfillment of a word given to them by Jesus, which was that I will in a few days pour upon you the Holy Spirit. So they were in a partnership posture. Watu wamekaa hivi wanakula kaimati upstairs sitting there. No, they knew something has been spoken and something must come to pass. And it is happening in a few days, in our days. And so their being locked up in the upper room was a declaration by action that we are not leaving this place until it's fulfilled. Because the wrong concept of waiting tells us they were sitting upstairs. Just chilling, eh? Yeah, they were just chilling. Ilam. Wanna watch ball. Arsenal versus our Serengine. They're just sitting there and hoping. No, that's not the posture. They were actively placing a demand on heaven, drawing something to be fulfilled in their day. They were drawing something from a prophetic declaration that was hanging over them, and they were turning it into an active reality in their day. That's what they were doing in the upper room. Praying, fasting, in one accord. That's what they were doing. And then, boom, the outpouring occurs. And what happens? What happens? Their tongues of fire rest upon them. They begin to speak in other tongues. And this spills over into the street. And in the street, people are all amazed because these guys were speaking in their languages.